Would you be okay if Donald Trump were president, if he created this Disinformation Governance Board, or if it is in place and he wins again in 2024, that he's in charge of such a thing?
You're about to hear DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas say a whole lot of nothing to a super important question. Watch.
This working group that gathers together best practices, makes sure that our work is coordinated, consistent with those best practices, that we're safeguarding the right of free speech, that we're safeguarding civil liberties, I think is an extraordinarily important endeavor.
Notice that Mayorkas did not answer the specific question in regard to how he would feel if Donald Trump were essentially the leader over a government group that would be determining what is and is not disinformation. And this has to do with a story that's getting a lot more attention lately. It has to do with the Department of Homeland Security and its new Disinformation Board. There are a lot of questions about what the purpose of the Disinformation Board is. We've received some answers in regard to counteracting the false information or disinformation that human smugglers are telling migrants, which is persuading them to come to the border. But I would caution against just buying that argument and thinking that this is a good thing, because at the end of the day, we're talking about a government agency that does not have a good track record in regard to our civil liberties, in regard to our privacy rights, essentially determining what is and is not considered disinformation from foreign actors. But I worry that this would also have an impact on American citizens as well. Now, before I get to the details about what this group would allegedly do, Cenk, I know you guys talked about this on the show recently. It was on a day when I wasn't here. And the conversation was mostly just kind of explaining what DHS has said the Disinformation Board is gonna do. But do you have any concerns that this would have a negative impact on our civil liberties, especially if this is a group that's established during the Biden administration, and then later you get someone like Donald Trump getting reelected as president of the United States again?
I do now, and what caused concern for me was actually this Mayorkas interview. So in the beginning, it looked like they were going to collect threat assessment on actual potential terrorists, right? People who might do violent acts in the United States. Well, given the huge degree of white supremacist terrorism in this country, I agree with that. And but it would have to be only about criminal matters. And as I said on the show on Friday, I'm not interested in pre-crime. I'm not interested in their political opinions, no matter how extreme they are. I'm interested in, are they going to commit crime or are they not? Are they planning to? Do they have an active plan to commit crime? But now that I've seen Mayorkas's answer, I withdraw any and all support from this total BS and ridiculous contraption. Okay, why? Number one, he says, oh no, we're not going to collect any information. We're just gonna do studies of what other countries have done and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, okay, there's two possible results of that. Number one, if you're just gonna collect studies of what other people have done, why do you need a whole division for it? Then it's totally useless, and I have no interest in it. Couldn't other divisions do that anyway? Isn't that a normal part of your research process in each division? What a useless thing you've set up. Or you're lying and you're going to collect intelligence, but now you're not telling us and you're covering it up. Okay, well, that makes me wonder what kind of intelligence you are going to gather, so I'm out. Either way.
And the problem that I have is the vague answers that he gave to the pretty good questions that Bash was asking during the CNN interview. I was a little concerned from the very beginning once we learned a little bit about this Disinformation Board, because again, we're talking about officials within the Department of Homeland Security serving as the arbiters of what is and is not considered disinformation. And how could you ever argue that that wouldn't become politicized? Even if you totally trust the Biden administration, which I would urge you not to trust any administration, you should always be skeptical of what they're doing. You should consider what the future holds under the leadership of a Republican president. You should also consider what the Republican Party has turned into during the Trump era and how it's further devolved. And when we talk about freedom of speech, civil liberties, on a surface level, conservatives pretend like they care about those things. But I have no doubt that if you essentially expand the powers for the federal government and allow them to be the arbiters of what is and is not disinformation, that could lead to some pretty serious problems. If you have a right-wing president in charge, it could be politicized and used against, obviously, the left wing. So I want to give you another portion of the interview featuring Mayorkas, and I want you to pay close attention to his wording because, again, I feel that he says a whole lot of nothing here. Let's watch.
What will it do?
So what it does is it works to ensure that the way in which we address threats, the connectivity between threats and acts of violence are addressed without infringing on free speech, protecting civil rights and civil liberties, the right of privacy. And the board, this working group, internal working group, will draw from best practices and communicate those best practices to the operators because the board does not have operational authority.
Will American citizens be monitored?
No.
Guarantee that.
Well, so what we do, we in the Department of Homeland Security don't monitor American citizens.
You don't, but will this board change that?
No. The board does not have any operational authority or capability.
Bash missed an opportunity there because she took what Mayorkas said about the DHS at face value. That was a huge mistake because, I mean, as recently as this year, the Brennan Center has released reports detailing how the Department of Homeland Security has in fact monitored American citizens. I actually want to direct you to a Brennan report that came out last year, and it talked about how really the surveillance powers for the Department of Homeland Security were expanded under the leadership of the Obama administration, and Biden has actually doubled down on that. Let me give you the details. The Obama administration began to entrench countering violent extremism initiatives. Programs in this mold recruited community leaders, social workers, teachers, and public health providers purportedly to help identify people who were at risk of becoming violent extremists. Instead, these efforts broadly painted members of American Arab and Muslim communities as terrorists and everyday political activism and religious practices as signs of violence. While President Biden promised during the election that he would scrap such programs, his administration has instead doubled down on this same basic approach, funding efforts that direct the public to report supposedly suspicious activity or behaviors, including vaguely defined indicators such as having a grievance, being socially isolated, or behaving unusually to the police or to threat assessment teams involving law enforcement. And this is absolutely being done under the Department of Homeland Security toward American citizens, not just foreigners. These programs, which are run out of DHS's new Center for Prevention Programs and Partnerships, CP3 as it's referred to, are essentially a repackaging of the repudiated CVE programs that relied on unscientific criteria to flag potential threats. I have more details about this, but the point that I'm trying to make here is Mayorkas was not, either he doesn't know what goes on within the department that he is the leader of, which I'm not buying, or he's just straight up lying on cable news, which is not a far-fetched idea. And again, we have certain constitutional rights, and we willy-nilly gave up so many of our civil liberties after 9/11. I would just caution anyone who is concerned about disinformation coming from foreign governments or from human smugglers to really consider how oftentimes when these government agencies are formed, whenever these governmental groups are formed, there's always that cover story, right? There's always that, oh no, this is actually a good thing because it's meant to keep you safe. This is actually a good thing, it's meant to keep migrants safe. But it's very easy for power to be abused once you expand the surveillance powers and honestly the determination that the government might have in regard to what is and is not considered disinformation.
So, first of all, his answers were all mealy-mouthed BS. Every one of them. Oh, we're not doing anything at all. We're just gathering information that's non-information. This is something that other departments are doing, and blah blah blah. Then why did you set it up? So you're not. It has no operational authority. He said that like 3 times in the interview, maybe 4. Okay, then why'd you set it up? What is it like? What's the point of it if it's totally impotent? Oh, okay, we're just gonna look around at other reports and report the reports. Okay, now problem number 2. He's lying. Department of Homeland Security, as Anna just pointed out to you, has often looked into, investigated Americans. It's largely never been a problem because they largely investigated people on the left and Muslims. So the right wing loved that, Democrats loved that, the mainstream media loved that, never raised an issue, no one, right? The minute you say, hey, maybe we should look into the actual terrorists, right now, the overwhelming majority of which, domestic terrorists in America, are white supremacists. All of a sudden the right wing goes, oh my God, those are our brothers in arms, how could you do this? And then immediately the cowards run away. Then shut the goddamn thing down. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna do nothing with it, but since they called it the Ministry of Truth and pretended you were collecting information about Americans, or maybe you are and you're hiding it, but either if you're doing that, don't if you're lying about it, or you're not doing any of that, it's useless. But then Trump's gonna come into office and go, oh yeah, the Democrats were collecting information. Now we're gonna collect information on everyone on the left, every black person, every Muslim person, every person that isn't Christian, white, fascist. We're collecting information on, and we're immediately gonna use it. It's such a classic weak Democratic move. It's the Democratic Party and its leaders are hopeless. That interview there was a picture of weakness and cowardice.
Absolutely. And again, always be a little suspicious, at least a little suspicious about any kind of expansive effort to provide more power to a government agency, especially a government agency, again, that does not have a good track record in regard to its surveillance powers and how it's abused it in surveilling American citizens. So I am concerned about this. And when the right wing fearmongers about it, I think that they do have a point. Of course, they fearmonger about it while the Biden administration is in charge, but that they'll be thinking differently once you have a Republican president in charge. And we don't want that. We don't want to have a politicized group make determinations about what is and is not acceptable speech.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.